of Hinduism, in his own handwriting, annotated the date on the photograph of this historic event taking place, marking and recording it for history. A year later, when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was 24 years of age, on November 2nd, 2002, the establishment of Adi Kailasa Sarvanya Peetham happened by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the headquarters. By the year 2004, when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was 26 years of age, Swamiji had begun conducting the mass living enlightenment conventions all across the globe in various parts of the world, including North America, Canada, Europe, and other places and cities. In the year 2005, when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was 27 years of age, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was welcomed with the proclamation statement given by the Mayor of St. Louis, Francis G. Slay. Here we have the early days in the mission of the Nithyananda Sangha, of the building of Kailasa, where you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, glimpses of Swamiji giving the Living Enlightenment Convention to the whole world in various cities, in various parts of the world. Yes. Now, here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism during the Kumbh Mela festival, which is one of the world's largest celebrated festival. Thousands and thousands of people who have gathered at the camps of Kailasa of the Nithyananda Sangha during the Kumbh Mela festival. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is initiating all of them into the Living Enlightenment Diksha, Living Enlightenment Initiation. This program was conducted both during the Nasik Kumbh Mela in 2015 and the Ujjain Kumbh Mela in 2016. Here, we are now seeing the various coronations where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was inducted as the successor. The first coronation happened to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was when Swamiji was very young. At the tender age of 10, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was inducted as the 233rd Guru Maha Sannidhanam of Tonde Mandaladinam of Kanchi Mutt. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in the year 2004, December 31st, was coronated as the incumbent emperor of Suryavamshi Surangi Samrajya. In the following years, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the present 23rd Guru Maha Sannidhanam of Dharmamukti Swargapuram Madinam. In the year 2012, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the 293rd Guru Maha Sannidhanam of Kailasonatha Shyamlapita Sarvanya Peetham of Madurai. In the year 2013, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the present Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, which is the largest apex monastic order of Hinduism. In the same year, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was also coronated as the Acharya Mahamandaleshwar, which is the head of all spiritual leaders of the Atal Akhada, which is the ancient most apex body of Hinduism. In the year 2015, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 Hindu leaders, Hindu pontiffs. Here we can see the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa, the United States of Kailasa. Kailasa is a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation whose vision is living enlightenment for all of humanity. Kailasa's mission is to revive and share with the world the practical applications of the greater sciences and authentic Hinduism, including Hindu cosmic physics, Hindu alchemy, Hindu cosmology, Hindu biology, Hindu mathematics, power manifestation science, and the other sciences as revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. These sciences were once freely practiced across the 56 nations spread across the continent, but are now facing extinction due to a persecution which has been lasting over a millennium. Here, we can see the 108 various initiatives taken by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for humanitarian services, which collectively allow for the creation of an enlightened, peaceful, sustainable, equitable, resilient, and thriving world. One of these many projects initiated by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations is the No Hungry Home project offered by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for nutritious food and a hunger-free world. More than 1 billion meals have been served by Sri Kailasa over the past 27 years. Every month, the Hindu ASMT community organizes the Annadan service. These Annadan service till date has been organized 300 million services. The Annadan is the offering of religious traditional food as per the tradition, and the service is provided free of cost and without discrimination. More than 10,000 meals are served on a daily basis, and this number goes up to 100,000 on festival days. As you can see here in these photos, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself is directly involved in the Annadan service and serving many of the devotees, disciples, and people who have gathered out of his own hand. Here we can see Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations offering of affordable and holistic healthcare, providing the Kailasa's protective and preventive COVID care centers. During the pandemic, an incident which shook the world and caused mass insecurity and anxiety among all populations and all diasporas of the world. It was the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the only one who provided a safe haven for all of humanity by converting his monastery campuses into the multi-layered quarantine facilities. These multi-layer quarantine facilities were free for all people, regardless of any differences in age, gender, caste, creed, ethnicity, color, or socioeconomic status. Food, shelter, internet, and basic medical facilities were all provided for an indefinite amount of time. More than 30 million citizens followed Kailasa's 28-day spiritual regimen in the year 2020. Here we can see Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations offering of education reform and development in the form of the Nithyananda Hindu University and the Nithyananda Gurukul. The Nithyananda Hindu University was established by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as the world's largest Hindu university. The Nithyananda Hindu University has more than 20 million enrollments, 7,000 free courses, and extended campuses in 150 different countries. The Nithyananda Gurukul was inaugurated by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on October 2nd, 2006, where the revival of the ancient Adishaivat Guru-disciple education system, which is an authentic knowledge transmission system based on enlightenment, to revive and to protect and live the science, to give the science life back, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism inaugurated and began Kailasa's Nithyananda Gurukul. Here we have Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for the protection of Hindu scriptures, offering the Nithyananda Nyanalaya service and the Hinduismpedia. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism established the Nithyananda Hindu Nyanalaya project to collect and preserve the 1 million source books on Hinduism, while ensuring that knowledge is made accessible and shared free of cost to all. Collecting and preserving the 1 million source books on Hinduism. The Hinduismpedia project, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has collected more than 15 terabyte of digital material, rare manuscripts from all 19 Sarvanyapitams, ancient muds, and ashrams. More than 1 million pages on Hinduism have been collected. 22,000 digital books, more than 1,000 e-textbooks, and more than 100,000 articles have been collected on Hinduism and is part of the Hinduismpedia project. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself has authored more than 1,000 books, has given discourses for more than 10,000 hours with a combined view of 1 billion, and has published more than 10,000 articles. Yes. Here we can see the confluences for world peace offered by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for global peace and religious harmony. India Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism organized a month-long peace walk covering 1,000 kilometers and 1,000 villages to bring together in life to promote feeling connection and oneness among people. During the walk, health camps were conducted in villages along its path. And as you can see here in the photograph, thousands and thousands of people have joined together as a part of the peace walk. Here we can see Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for Feminine Empowerment and Gender Equality, offering various women empowerment programs. Kailasa's Yogini Sarvagyapeetham is the establishment of yoga and meditation universities to empower the quality of life and emphasis on life solutions through the Vedas and Agamas, empowering the indigenous rural women, fighting against wrongful gender stereotyping, gender-based violence, and lack of inclusive and quality learning environments. Some of these initiatives include Kailasa's Nithyananda Lakshmi, which is a microfinancing service, Kailasa's Women Foundation and Women Empowerment Self-Help Centers, which have been launched in 108 various places since its initiation in 2009. We also have Kailasa's Ankita program, providing foundational literacy about the working of basic community environments and establishments. Kailasa's Ashraya program, providing vocational training programs to rural and indigenous women to provide equal opportunities and access to independence environments for them. Not only that, but the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived Vedic feminism in Kailasa, where more than 80% of leadership positions in Kailasa are occupied by women. Now here we can see Nityananda Yoga offered by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for Yoga. The first offering which we have here is the 108 Kriyas, scientifically revived Kriyas by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, specifically targeted the 108 major disorders, diseases such as diabetes, arthritis, blood pressure, rheumatism, and more. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also revived the ancient pole yoga and rope yoga, Kundalini Rajju yoga, in which yogic asanas, postures, and weight balancing techniques are performed to create the yogic physiology, aligning it to the cosmic geometry that manifests superconscious powers. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also received two Guinness World Records for the largest rope yoga, which is the Kundalini Rajju yoga, and pole yoga, Shivastamba yoga classes, bringing worldwide attention to these extraordinary forms of yoga. These Guinness World Records were received by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on the 30th of September and 3rd of October, respectively. Despite being heavily persecuted continuously for over a decade, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is unwavered in his intention, commitment, and action in building the only Hindu nation, sovereign state of Sri Kailasa, to protect, revive, and preserve Hinduism, the most ancient, most peaceful, still living, and long-lasting demonstrable system that shows the possibility of peaceful coexistence amongst people. Here, we can see one of the most historic moments in the history of Kailasa nation, where Kailasa's first nation for Hindus, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, spoke on behalf of the 2 billion Hindu global diaspora at the 14th session of the United Nations Forum on Minority Issues. A significant milestone in the history of Hindus and the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa happened on the 2nd of December 2021. His Excellency Sri Nitya Moksha Priyananda, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Kailasa, represented the persecution of Hindus at the 14th session of the United Nations Forum on Minority Issues. The theme of the forum was conflict prevention and the protection of human rights of minorities. This was the first time the plight of persecuted Hindu minorities was represented in the United Nations. The ongoing, systematic, generational attacks on Hindu indigenous traditions were highlighted as a part of this meeting. We are now looking at the various torture and murder attempts done by the state and non-state actors on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and on Kailasa. Over 70 assassination attempts and physical attacks have been made on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in India and abroad. 40 attacks on community members, the destruction of monasteries and temples, over 60 incidences of attacks, molestation, and rape of women and women monks, intense lawfare over through the 100 false legal cases being falsely accused on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, entire government mechanism being used, the politically owned media, the police, judiciary controlled by politicians, inciting mob violence through social media. These are just but a few of the many ways anti-spiritual elements and anti-Hindu elements trying to violate, persecute, and get rid of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and prevent the happening of the Kailasa nation. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, with his unwavering determination, his intention and sacrifice, with the grace of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has successfully created the only Hindu nation, Kailasa, for all Hindus all across the globe to have a safe haven, to practice and live and be as a Hindu. One of the most important offerings which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has given to humanity is the power manifestation science. In this next segment, we're going to be looking at the various ways the power manifestation happens, the scriptural reference for the powers of Paramashiva, of power manifestation, as well as a live demonstration of the powers of third eye and consciousness over matter, where just by connecting with the Master, with the Avatar, with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, how such extraordinary powers can manifest. So we'll be right back. Please stay tuned after a break.
A more intelligently connected world leads to a brighter future. An enlightened humanity leads to a better world. During the Paramashivam program, we help people to discover their superhuman possibilities and help them to find and achieve the true purpose of their birth by giving them the techniques, practices, and methodologies from the Vedagamas, the original source scriptures of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the ancient original Vedas and Agamas in all its glory, in a user-friendly way for the modern mind. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is transforming human beings into divine beings, reviving, initiating, and replicating the 463 powers from the Agamas revealed by Paramashiva. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is not just giving solutions for every problem man faces, but is making them irrelevant to their lives by transforming human beings into divine beings.
Listen. Any argument presented by your mind, body, your present reality to establish you are not Paramashiva. You are not omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Anything presented to prove you are not Paramashiva is illegitimate. Decide this. This is super determinism. Understand? Anything you declare as illegitimate will lose power over you, will die in few days, few minutes, maybe in few weeks, whatever few days it takes. It will not have power over you. Understand, this is the method for sudden enlightenment. This is the method for sudden enlightenment. It happens by the Shaktipada. Here Paramashiva is sitting to tell you all, you are Paramashiva, you are me, with Shaktipada and Shaktinipada.
The Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama is an extensive and thorough yoga sequence to prepare your body to receive the experience being given by the Supreme Fount of Hinduism. Through the yoga, which is aligned as per the source scriptures laid down by Paramashivam and the Agamas, you break all the impossibility in your body and in turn break the very cognition of impossibility. The program leads you to go beyond your human frame and limiting human ideas, which prevents you from living your highest possibility.
I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment.
Again I tell you, I am not here to prove I am God, I am here to prove you are God.
Don't wait to become divine. Register now at paramashivoham.org.
Nithyanandam to all the viewers watching us live on all our social media platforms like Nithyananda TV and YouTube SPH, the Supreme official page. Now we'll be entering into the power manifestation session where we are going to be understanding lots of powerful cognitions about the science of power manifestation, how it can be useful to our life, and ultimately have the live demonstration of the powers of Paramashiva. So now let's see the science of Paramashiva, of power manifestation. So in the Veda Agamas, the source scriptures of Hinduism, Paramashiva elaborates in detail that every human is hardwired to manifest the 463 Shaktis of Paramashiva. Manifesting Shaktis are described in a systematic method and science for humans to manifest various powers and possibilities. The Shaktis manifest from the fundamental cognition that you are Paramashiva, you are divinity, and not the cognition that you are a man and you need to reach divinity. Now we'll see the difference between the Shaktis and the Siddhis. The Shaktis are the powers, are the expressions of Paramashiva that manifest from the space of enlightenment, whereas the Siddhis are expressions of powers that manifest when you are doing tapas for enlightenment, when you are doing penance for enlightenment. Shaktis manifest when you are in a deep connection with your Guru, when you have so much of bhakti and integrity to your Guru, Shaktis manifest. Whereas the Siddhis manifest only on the path of enlightenment. The Shaktis manifest through any ordinary human after the initiation of a living enlightened master. And the Shaktis are permanent, whereas the Siddhis are not permanent and divert us from the path of enlightenment. So here we have the four validating filters that give us the evidence for the Shaktis, for the powers. How these powers are validated in four different methods. First, we have the Shastra Pramana, which is the scriptural references for the Shaktis, what Paramashiva has given to us in the Vedagamas. Those very words of Paramashiva are taken as the ultimate reference, ultimate evidence, the Shastra Pramana. Then we have the Apta Pramana, which is the experiences of various rishis, munis, incarnations, and enlightened masters, including the most recent enlightened masters like Maharishi Mahesh Yogi or Yogananda or Satya Sai Baba. All of their lives also
are the Apta Pramanas, which give us the understanding about how these powers are manifested through them and how we can also learn from their manifestations. Then we have the Atma Pramana, which is the experiences of the Supreme Pandava of Hinduism. How the Supreme Pandava of Hinduism has understood these powers, experiencing these powers, and after verifies his experiences with the Shastra Pramana and the Apta Pramana, and then after it matches both, he shares it with us as his Atma Pramana. Then we have the Pratyaksha Pramana, which is the empirical evidence for the manifesting of the Shaktis, what science has understood from these Shaktis. Now we are seeing the source of the Shaktis. From where do these Shaktis manifest? And the answer is Paramashiva. Paramashiva is the primordial divinity in Hinduism, the ultimate reality and cause, which is self effulgent, all pervading, unchanged beyond time, space, and form, as fundamental base of the manifest and the unmanifest. He performs the five actions, the Panchakrityas, which is the source of this whole cosmos that we have, this whole existence that we are in. So it is from that space that these Shaktis manifest. And now we'll see the ultimate truth about Shaktis. This is the understanding from which these Shaktis manifest. When a powerful cognition, the jnana, is mapped, is understood, is cognized by us, our consciousness, not just as a logical thread of understanding, but as a deep experience, it manifests through us as the Shaktis, as Prajnana. Now we are going to be seeing the detailed pramana for each of the pramanas that we saw. So first is the Shastra Pramana. The Shastra Pramana are the detailed scriptural references, the direct words of Paramashiva. So here we have the verse from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra where Paramashiva gives us the detailed understanding about how the powers manifest from the third eye. Third eye is the organ, the intra organ through which the Shaktis of Paramashiva manifest. It is the command center, it is the will center where Paramashiva himself resides and flows. So here the pramana is from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, which is also an agama, and this scripture was given to Paramashiva Shakti, Uma Devi, and after she understood this, she has passed it along and we have received this beautiful scripture. So the verse is from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 34. The verse goes, Kapalantar manonyasa tishtanmilita lochanaha kramena manaso dhadyat lakshayet lakshyam uttamam. The translation is, by fixing the mind on the inner space within the crown center and sitting stably without any movement, having the eyes in succession to the third eye, one has the ultimate vision of the ultimate goal, the Lakshyam, and has the sight beyond the physical eyes and is able to see any place or any object, and he is in oneness with the ultimate source, Paramashiva. So here we can understand how from that space of oneness only all these Shaktis manifests. Next is the Apta Pramana, the stories and the historical stories that have happened in the past in the life of various incarnations, enlightened beings. So here we have the beautiful story of the Bhagavad Gita, of the Mahabharata, where in the Mahabharata, Arjuna asks Bhagavan Sri Krishna to show his Vishwarupa Darshana, his cosmic form. At that time, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, gives this beautiful initiation to Arjuna, telling, see my cosmic form with these physical eyes of yours. Therefore, I initiate you into the third eye vision. Behold my cosmic. So, after this initiation, Arjuna is able to see the magnificent Vishwarupa Darshana, the cosmic form of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, and he extols it in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Now we are seeing the Atma Pramana, the experience of the supreme point of Hinduism. So, the Atma Pramana for the supreme point of Hinduism is given in his own words. The supreme point of Hinduism experienced this power of the third eye when he was at the tender age of 12. And at that time, he had the beautiful vision of the whole 360 degrees. He was able to see above him, below him, is in 10 directions. And he was able to also feel every single item that was there near him. So, this is the direct experience of the supreme point of Hinduism, we can see, and it is also in alignment with the Shastra Pramana. Next, we are going to be seeing the scientific study for the power of third eye. The, sci- the scientific study of the third eye was conducted directly on the supreme point of Hinduism itself, and they had conducted the positron emission tomography test on the supreme point of Hinduism. And when they did that, they were able to see that the supreme point of Hinduism was able to activate the third eye, and they had seen an intense amount of energy being radiated from the third eye area, from the frontal lobe. And this same thing has been replicated in all the other Palasans and yogis who have gone through various other tests like the EEG test, where they have seen the exact same um, replicating the experience that the supreme point of Hinduism had shown the doctors when he went through the test. So now we are going to be seeing the um, pramana for the power of the consciousness over matter, which is a power that manifests from the space of the light. So here So here we have the prana for the consciousness over matter, which is the power which manifests from the space of the third eye. Scriptural reference for the power of the third eye is from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 120, Dharna 95. The verse goes, Vachid Vastuni Vinyasya Shanay Drishtim Nivartayet Tajnanam Chitta Sahitam Devi Shunyalayo Bhavet. Paramashivam gives the translation as by having a steady gaze on a particular object, one should slowly withdraw the sight from the object as well as slowly eliminate the thoughts, impressions, and cognitions of that object. Then, O Devi, one abides in Shunya, the space of all inclusiveness and ultimate oneness. So we can see here also the concept of oneness comes, and only from that space these powers manifest. So now we'll be having a live demonstration of the powers of Paramashiva. So we will be seeing now in a close-up camera where me and the Atmalinga is seen. So here we can see that me and the Atmalinga is seen. And now I will be showing my hand. So you can see my hand here. So you can see my hand here. And if you look at my hand, I'll just move this to the side. So you can see my hand here. And you can see that there is no kind of glue or any other kind of rope or something tied to my hand over here. And both my hands are here. You can also see in the main camera. So now I will be, you can see the Atmalinga also here. And as we know, the Atmalinga is made up of a crystalline material like quartz, and no kind of magnet can be used to make any movement in the Atmalinga. And then I have this tissue paper over here. It's just a normal tissue paper. You can see I'm just opening it. It's just a normal tissue paper. And I will be just showing how we'll be using this in a minute. So now I'm going to be placing the Atmalinga on my hand. So now I have placed the Atmalinga on my hand. And now I have the tissue paper with here. I'm just folding it. And I'm going to be showing that even when I move the tissue paper around the Atmalinga, there is no kind of movement which is being caused. So I'm going above, I'm going in circles. And you can see even when there's any movement around the Atmalinga, there is no kind of movement in the Atmalinga. So I'm just going to leave the tissue paper right over here so that we make sure that there is, we can authenticate this power as much as possible. So now I also request all the viewers watching us now to also take this time to manifest the Shaktis of Paramashiva. So now I will be entangling with you and I will be creating this space for Paramashiva to manifest in all of us. Because when the initiated disciples of Paramashiva, of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, manifest powers, it is not just another magic trick or it is not the siddhis, it is the direct Shakti, the direct energy of the cosmos that manifests through us. So we create a space of entanglement, and when you watch this manifestation happening, this will also trigger the manifestation of Paramashiva to happen in you. So you can also take this time now to manifest the Shaktis of Paramashiva, and I will be connecting with Paramashiva and chanting the Mahavakya. You can also chant along and we will all see the manifestation happening. So now let us enter into the manifestation. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. So here we have seen the beautiful manifestation of the Atmalingam standing up and even rolling. So this manifestation of the powers of Paramashiva happens through any human, through anyone, irrespective of your background, of what your past has been, and what the past births also, if that is there, even those also, even in the past births, if whatever has happened, how much ever karma you have after the initiation of the guru of the supreme point of Hinduism, who's the Nijavatara of Paramashiva, who's the live incarnation, the living incarnation of Paramashiva, after his blessing, after his initiation into the Shaktis, your life will be totally changed because Paramashiva is starting to flow through you. So, when we want that to happen in our life, the best way we can do that is to create the reality for Paramashiva to manifest in our life by having the initiation of Supreme Fount of Hinduism in the upcoming Mahaparamashivoham. So now we are projecting the link to all of you in the lower left hand side of the screen. You can see the QR code which you can scan, and once you scan it, you will be able to, it will directly take you to the registration page where you can have the, where you can create an intention for the to attend the Mahaparamashivoham. So we can all now take some time to register ourselves in the Mahaparama because that is going to be the place where the direct initiation of the supreme founder of Hinduism is going to happen. And you will be getting various aushadas. We will be having the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, which is the most authentic form of yoga that we can do today because it has 12 components which have been described and given by Paramashiva, along with the Shastric references of each of those asanas. We'll be having that, which will completely detox your body. Every day we have a beautiful sharing that has been coming from the Mahaparamishivoham. You can see it in our Facebook, official Facebook page, and YouTube, where these devotees have experienced extraordinary changes in their life. Like they have not been able to sit for 50 years, and after just few days of the program, they have manifested that and they are able to sit on the floor. They're completely, they have become normal. And various healings where people with diabetes are able to do 3 hours of yoga. So these kind of miracles which will totally change your life and bring you to the real reality, because we are now living in a lot of delusion where we think that this whole world is something that is being binding us and doesn't flow with us. But when we attend and get the initiation of Mahaparamashivoham, we will start seeing the realities of life, how this whole reality has been created by us, and we have the will to create anything that we want because we are Paramashiva. And when Paramashiva can create this whole cosmos, he is inside us, so we can also create. So this is the best opportunity all of you can take to manifest the beautiful opportunity of Mahaparamashivoham in your life. So I once again request all the viewers to register yourself for this beautiful event that is going to be happening on the 9th of February. 21 days of intimate sessions with the Supreme Fount of Hinduism, where you will have the opportunity to ask all your questions, understand everything that you have doubts about in life. So, before just we are going to be moving into the next session where we are going to be understanding how to create success in our life. This is a most wanted answer by all of us because we put our energy in various different fields, but most of us don't actually see the outcome coming. So here, the Supreme Court of Hinduism is here to help us and raise us from the low-level cognitions of hard work and suffering to gain success, to manifesting success like a cakewalk. So this is the direct gift from the Supreme Point of Hinduism to all the viewers who's watching us now. So he's going to be helping us to directly manifest success in our life. So now let us sit with our head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Let us make sure that we take notes of all the powerful cognitions that the Supreme Point of Hinduism gives so that it can help us in various other times when we really need them. So make sure you take notes, bring yourself to the space of listening, and now we're going to be entering into the session where the Supreme Point of Hinduism is going to be sharing these great truths with us. So now let's enter into the video.
Everything, every suffering you have in your life, even not getting what you want in the life, everything boils down to only one thing: your self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial. SDHD. It is the SDHD only demon in the life. Somehow so strongly you believe you cannot get it. Your intellect says you cannot get it. Your emotion says you should not get it. Your life says you did not get it. Once you complete with SDHD, you don't need any spiritual practice. If you don't complete with SDHD, no spiritual practice will help work on you. See, in deep part of our being, the SDHD has gone so deep, you strongly believe no spiritual practice will work for you. Completion with SDHD. Now, how many new things I may go on inventing? You will have a clear, no, whatever Swamiji says works for others, it works. For me nothing works. I don't know what to do. Understand? The bad news is, with SDHD, no spiritual practice will work for you. Good news is, SDHD can be completed. Understand? Bad news is no spiritual practice. Whether you try to complete or unclutch or no spiritual practice will work for you. Because you have a strong belief. The bad news is, with SDHD, no spiritual practice will work. The good news is, SDHD itself can be completed. Please understand. You can really complete SDHD. Now, I tell you, a person who has completed with SDHD is a most graceful and handsome, beautiful being. What is grace? See, beauty is when you see from distance how skin looks. The shape of the body and the skin, that is beauty. Grace is when you spend time with that person, when you are around that person. What is the material out of which that person is made? What is the principles out of which he is made? What is he radiating? What is he believing as himself and others? How he holds himself and others? That is grace. Beauty of that is grace. I tell you, completion with SDHD will give you a big breakthrough. That will only make you rewriting your future. All transformations are quantum jump. Just complete with SDHD. I am giving you this as a beautiful process. Now sit down and pen down what all you want in life. Listen, please listen first. The moment you think you want something, immediately one part of you already declares, I am not going to have it. I am not qualified to have it. It is going to be very difficult. How can this happen? All that mind will tell. Be very clear. Please understand. Now, the moment you see the self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred coming up, look back when it started. That I am not qualified, I am not enough, I am not going to get it. Just complete with self-doubt, self-hatred and self-denial. All the great truths of Advaita will become reality for you. You can live as you want, as long as you want, like a Bhishma. You will become Ichcha Mrityu. Means you can choose your death as you want, when you want, the way you want. You don't need to do any big tapas. Sit, trace back when you started that painful collapsing and giving up on you. Is the moment that self-denial starts sprouting in you. It may be just a small candy your elder brother is not ready to give you. A small sweet, your mother is hiding it to give you tomorrow. Or a small piece of cloth, your elder sister is saying, no, I will not give you now. It might have started at that moment. See how you collapsed, cried bitterly, and decided you are not qualified to get it. Complete with that. If you just relive and relieve, you will complete with it, I tell you. Just complete with that self-denial. You will have everything you want. Not only that, all these great truths of Advaita Vedanta like Dharma, the power to make life out of time. Please understand, with integrity and authenticity, I tell you, this science of making life out of time is not my monopoly. Just complete with yourself, the self-doubt and self-hatred and self-denial. Keeping Kala Bhairava as a witness, I tell you, this science, every one of you can experience it and use it. I am not lying or giving you some encouragement. As I said, I am not a personality development guru. Just complete with your self-denial, self-doubt and self-hatred. Go back and see how many times you fell into you, collapsed into you. The inner implosion has happened and you strengthened your self-denial, self-doubt, self-hatred. You lost the self-confidence. Your shoulder bones are consciously broken. Pen down every one of that. Relive and complete with it. You will wake up like a phoenix bird, I tell you. You will wake up like a phoenix bird. You will rise like a phoenix. Rewriting of your future begins when you complete with all the self-doubt, self-hatred and self-denial and rise as a new being. Because that is the source of all the ignorance and inauspicious in you. To just complete with your self-doubt, self-hatred and self-denial, I tell you, enlightenment will flow in you like a Ganga. It will flow in you like a Ganga. That's the exact word I will use. It will flow in you like a Ganga. I bless you all. To have Jnana Ganga, the enlightenment Ganga in all of you. Sit straight. Close your eyes. Declare with integrity, authenticity, responsibility and enriching. You will complete with all self-doubt, hatred, denial. Complete with even the self-doubt, whether you will be able to complete with your self-doubt or not. I bless you all. Let you all complete with all the self-doubt, hatred, denial. Namah Shivaya.
Go on counting your success. Stop beating yourself with hatred, self-denial. For that your enemies are there. Why do you want to do your enemy's job? If you stop doing your enemy's job, your enemy will not be successful over you. This is the punch of today's satsang. If you stop doing your enemy's job of beating yourself down, your enemy will not be successful with war over you. You allow part of you, actually you become sleeper cell for your own enemies. Why do you want to repeat all those hate speech what they are doing inside you? Be very clear, it is hate speech. Use right understanding and drop. Don't allow them to beat you down. I tell you, whether it is self-hatred, self-denial, or self-doubt, it is your enemy's sleeper cell inside you. Have strong will persistence to make SDHD irrelevant. Irrelevant. Continuously manifest powers. I tell you, manifesting powers will burn all SDHDs. Even if it takes 1 or 2 days for you to manifest, it's okay. That is the right direction. Decide. My Guru has told me, I am Paramashiva. So I'm going to move first my universe as I want. Then I'll move this whole universe as I want. And I tell you, All of us being Paramashiva and manifesting power will only bring a beautiful order in planet Earth. There will not be any chaos. Don't worry at all. Don't worry. There will not be any chaos. All of us cognizing we are Paramashiva and manifesting powers, we will all be connected to a beautiful, powerful source intelligence, Paramashiva, which is absolutely orderly. Absolute order. So understand, of you Paramashivatva, ultimate reality, and declaring your supremacy over all the delusions and self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial every day. Understand, every day is new day. Today declare your supremacy over the delusion. Tomorrow if the delusion comes back, again declare your supremacy. Hey, I am declaring my supremacy. Till I forget something called delusion exists, I will declare my supremacy. I tell you, there are thousands of problems you had, applied spiritual solutions, and those problems have not only become irrelevant, you even forgot them. Remember all those success and gain your trust on Paramashivatva. I have seen each one of my disciples, how they transform, how they bring the best to their beings. I tell you, tons of wonderful things are done by getting the Paramashivam Jnana and mapping it into your consciousness and manifesting as a reality. Have confidence and integrity to your own Paramashivatva. Intensely manifest. Intensely manifest. Intensely manifest. Allow the SDHD to take over. Do not allow the SDHD to destroy your existence. Do not become the sleeper cell for your enemy.
Life is sincerely able to listen to yourself and able to listen to others. That's all. Ability to speak, please listen. I'm describing. Ability to listen to yourself is contemplation. Ability to speak into your listening is completion. And others listening, ability to speak into others listening is completion with others. That is the essence of all success. Please understand, essence of all success is ability to speak into others listening. Whether your relationships, family, life, good, bad, right, wrong, whatever in your life you think as success, it comes to you only by your ability to speak into others listening. Everyone basically need to learn this art, learn this science. Everyone needs to develop this skill, ability to speak into others' listening, ability to put whatever you experienced in practice and radiate it to the world. That is the last initiation you received, Sangha Sankalpa Diksha. Live in the form of Sangha. Even when you are not able to complete with something, treat that incompletion as part of your Sangha. Call that incompletion and have a heart-to-heart conversation. What do you want to do? You think you will kill me? If you are carrying a self-denial, one part of you is self-hatred. Call that self-doubt for a round-table conference. Come on, you tell me, what do you think you want to do? Do you think you will kill me? If you kill me, then how will you survive? Because you are a parasite. Parasite can be alive only from the tree. The tree dies. Parasite can't afford to eat the whole tree. It can only part by part. If the whole tree dies, main tree dies, what will happen to parasite? That will also die. So ask the self-denial, self-doubt, self-hatred patterns. Come on, you are a parasite on me. You think you will kill me? You will. Simply you will see. Self-doubt and self-denial is like a child. If you stare at him, if he knows he is caught, he will simply run away. If a child knows he is caught, he will simply run away. Same way, self-denial and self-hatred. The moment you catch, they will simply run away. I was telling SDHD about the self-doubt, hatred and denial. I wanted to expand on it. Even this SDHD, subtle way you feel you can't complete with SDHD. It is like yesterday I gave you the example. No? If you think you should have health, immediately one part of you says, will I ever be able to have? The another one part says, am I qualified to have health? The part which says, will I ever be able to have health, is self-doubt. Am I qualified to have health? I am not qualified to have health. That is self-hatred. I will not be healthy. Self-denial. I can't be healthy. Self-denial. Please understand, everything with which you are struggling in your life, whether it is health or wealth or good relationships or contentment or happiness or completion, everything with which you are struggling in your life, find the SDHD pattern related to that. If you are struggling for health, find your SDHD pattern related to the health. Complete with it. You will have an immediate breakthrough. Self-doubt, hatred, denial, SDHD pattern. I am giving you the example. Will I have health? Self-doubt. I am not worthy of having health. I don't think I am worthy of having health. Self-hatred. I can't be healthy. Self-denial. Same way with wealth. Will I ever be able to achieve wealth? Maybe if I cheat and steal, I may get, not in a right way. Even that is doubt. Next. I am not qualified for wealth. Am I qualified for wealth? I don't think I am qualified for wealth. That is self-hatred. If I become wealthy, I may become arrogant. What to do? Egoistic. These are all self-hatred patterns. Same way, I can never become wealthy. Self-denial. Look in. Complete with every SDHD pattern. With every SDHD pattern. I tell you, life will become heaven the moment you complete with your SDHD patterns. The SDHD, about completing the SDHD. Now, many of you have doubt, self-doubt about will you be able to complete your self-doubt. That is called SDHD square. You will have a SDHD about your ability to complete SDHD. Will I ever be able to complete my SDHD? Am I qualified to complete my SDHD? I can't complete my SDHD. It is called SDHD square. I can see some of the people on their forehead, they write, I am SDHD square and go round. Actually, I can give formula for everyone. Like as how I give spiritual name, I can give SDHD cube, SDHD square, SD square, H3 and D or SD H square and D cube. Just like how I give spiritual name, I can give a clear formula for each one. Means the layers and layers of SDHD. Layers and layers of SDHD. Understand? Constantly your thinking should be towards completion. Practice makes you a great yogi. Internalizing makes you a great jnani. Action makes you a great karma yogi. Completion makes you a great Jivan Mukta. Constant completion. I wanted all of you to complete with SDHD square. Please understand, today I am introducing a new principle called SDHD square. Means having self-doubt, hatred, denial about will I be able to complete my SDHD. I can say I have people SDHD square, SDHD cube, SDHD 4, some SDHD 5, 6 and all I have. Layer by layer by layer by layer. When you give up on yourself and others, it is called SDHD infinity. Please understand, I wanted you to understand this SDHD completion. I tell you, SDHD completion is enlightenment. Nothing separately need to be done. Just SDHD completion.
Beautifully, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expanded on the secrets, sharing with us the secrets of why we are not able to be successful in life, why we are not able to manifest the reality that we want to manifest. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expanded on multiple topics, giving various solutions to the singular reason, expanding on why we face all the problems we are facing in our life. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism again and again repeats a fundamental truth that there is no external force which is preventing or not allowing our reality to manifest. The only force, the only opposition which we face in life for us not to manifest, which is preventing us from manifest what we want in life, is our own. It is our own inner struggle. One side we ask, saying we want $1 million, but the other side we fight with ourselves, asking, am I worth $1 million? Is $1 million something which I really want to have? What are all the other complications, problems, responsibilities which will come along with it? It is this constant tug of war between your desires, your wants, as well as your self-doubt, self-hatred, and self-denial about yourself, which prevents you from manifesting your ultimate reality. Let us now do the process of self-doubt, self-hatred, and self-desire. As the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism just mentioned, completion with the SDHD patterns is enlightenment itself. It is these SDHD patterns which are the root cause for all the problems in your life. All your root patterns are nothing but a combination permutation of the SDHD patterns. And so now, understanding, identifying these SDHD patterns and bringing completion in these areas of your life can vastly remove all the obstacles which you are giving to yourself for you to manifest your reality. So now let us sincerely begin the completion process for SDHD. Please sit down and pen down what all you want in life. Everything, all your desires, all your wants, all your fantasies, every single thing which you want to manifest in your life. Sit and pen them down. As soon as you write one thing, saying, maybe I wanted a new car, or I wanted a new bike, the immediate thoughts which form in your head, am I really worth that bike? Do I really want to have it? There's so much of pain in maintaining it. All of these are the self-doubt, self-hatred, and self-denial thought patterns, which are the reason for you not being able to manifest the bike, the car, or whatever it is you want to manifest in your life. The moment you think you want something, immediately one part of you already declares, I am not going to have it. I am not qualified to have it. It is going to be very difficult. How can this happen? When one side of you is pulling one side and the other side of you is pulling the other. It is this tug of war which is happening in you, which is creating and resulting in the unmanifested reality of your own. So let us now take this opportunity and pen down, once for all, get rid of our SDHD patterns so that we can manifest life as we want it, without any friction, without any obstacle, in just a continuous flow of life. The moment you see the self-doubt, self-denial, and self-hatred coming up, look back when it started, where you started thinking, I am not qualified enough. I am not enough. I am not going to get it. Start contemplating and try to look back into your past. When did these cognitions start emerging in you? When did you start using these cognitions in your daily life? It would have been started with just one instance or two incidents, but then it would have snowballed, and now we are in the situation which we are in. So, the easiest way, if you're able to think, if you're having a difficulty, what are the different self denial, self hatred, or self doubt patterns which you are having? It is very simple. Think of one of the things which you desire the most. Immediately, all your SDHD patterns will raise up, will raise its head like a cobra snake. Pen down and identify all these SDHD patterns which you are suffering with, which are clouding your judgment. And take this time to sit sincerely, identify, and complete these patterns. It is the completion of the SDHD patterns which will allow you to manifest the reality which you want. Please take next few minutes as we get ready and move into the next segment of today's program, where directly we're going to be entering into the preparations for the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. Allow yourselves a few minutes of time to do this completion process so that when the Bhava Samadhi Darshan happens, you will be in full receptive space to receive the supreme pontiff of Hinduism and receive the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. So now with this, I'd like to move into the break and get ready for the
Please sit in a deep meditative space. In just a few more minutes, we are going to be entering into one of the most awaited parts, most awaited part of our day, which is having the darshan of Bhagwan. Yes. Now let us enter into preparing ourselves for this Bhava Samadhi Darshan.
Sit as
We are going to
Paramashivam.
be experiencing
Inhale and
very powerful
exhale
Bhava Samadhi
deeply.
Darshan
With
of Bhagavan
25 heads and
Dakshinamurti. So this
75
is
eyes and
Dakshinamurti
50
Bhava
hands.
Samadhi Darshan.
And we welcome
Visualize,
all the
meditate,
participants
connect
that
with him.
have
He is a
joined with us, that are there
living,
here
alive
for
being.
the
Drop
darshan.
your
All
form
the
into
viewers
his
that have
form
joined with us on
and
YouTube and
dissolve.
Facebook, welcome every one of
Remember,
you. And
you are a
now
Sarupya Mukta,
we are
means
all
your
going to
form
enter
is
into the
dissolved
Bhava
into
Samadhi
his
darshan.
form. All my disciples, now I am initiating
Bhava Samadhi darshan is literally that space where each of us are going to be experiencing the 10 forms of Dakshinamurthy, and we are going to be connecting with these forms, manifesting all the powerful cognitions, the powerful truths of each of these forms, and experiencing the powerful experience and breakthroughs through this. And I request every one of you that are there with us, all the participants, for the next few minutes, take a few moments to prepare your inner space to receive the Bhava Samadhi Darshan.
Ma Karima Maruya, Ma Alicia Morrissey, Ma Tatiana, and I also see somebody named Classy Designer and Hamsaya, Hamsa Nithyananda, and Ma Nina, Lucy, Nithyanandam, to everyone that have joined with us on YouTube. How many of you are here? Please, can you all post which country are you right now logging in from? I request all of you to post which country are you right now here, joining us here. Where are you logging in currently from?
You all can let us know.
You know, we already have many of you that have joined us from the US, that have joined us from Malaysia, Singapore, and China, Canada, France. Okay, Tatiana from Los Angeles. Great. So we are having people from all over the globe that are joining us here. Now, what is exactly going to be happening? You know, many of us experience the Bhava Samadhi Darshan where like all of us are experiencing the phenomenal transformation that's happening in us just by sitting at the feet of Swamiji. We are just sitting here and like just witnessing the darshan, and the magic starts happening inside of us. What is it that happens during this time? First thing we need to understand is Kailasa is real. The deities exist, and when the deities, the gods and goddesses come down to graces, they come down in two different forms. I hope many of you would have visited temples, right? Now, what we are seeing in temples are called as the Archavataras. Archavataras are the deities. They embody the being of each deity. So every god, goddesses, they manifest through consciousness, being, and physical embodied form. Consciousness, pure formless existence. That energy assumes a being and manifests as a being. And that's what we all see, whether it is in Tirupati Balaji temple or the beautiful temple of Nithyananda Paramashiva Devalaya. Wherever or we see the Nataraja in the Seattle temple, everywhere the deities are manifesting the being. But unfortunately, we human beings are not having the maturity to receive higher spiritual experiences directly from the Archavataras, meaning the deities.
And also, our consciousness is not mature enough to experience the continuous presence of the divine that manifests through what we call as Archavatara, the deities.
So, to bridge this gap, out of immense compassion, the cosmos descends in the physical form. Understand, we are not just talking about the avatar, like Swamiji, who has descended, who is here walking amongst us, being along with us. But as an avatar, Swamiji does something, an extraordinary manifestation by manifesting every deity through him physically. If you have been to the programs, the physical programs, when we had like the Inner Awakening program, the Shivoham program, or Sadashivoham, Mahasadashivoham, any of these programs, if you have witnessed the powerful Kala Bhairava Bhava Samadhi Darshan or the Devi Bhava Samadhi Darshan, you would have seen physically how Swamiji's form literally changes. I remember in one of the Kala Bhairava Bhava Samadhi Darshan that I got to witness, I had the blessing to have the darshan of. Swamiji was just standing, and as soon as Kala Bhairava just landed in Swamiji, physically Swamiji's body expanded, and the anklets that Swamiji was wearing, the Rudraksha anklets, because the whole body of Swamiji just expanded. The Rudraksha anklets just burst because of the expansion. Understand, like this, all I'm sure many of you that have tuned in right now would have witnessed, right? How many of you have experienced like this? You've seen physically Swamiji's body is actually changing. How many of you have seen this? During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, physically you see that Swamiji's whole, physically the body changes. Like when you see the Devi Bhava Samadhi Darshan, really, like you'll see Swamiji becoming like extremely feminine. Like you'll see actually the whole physiology changing. Same way when it is Krishna Bhava Samadhi Darshan, the way how Swamiji will look, even Swamiji's eyes, everything will change. Each darshan, you will see how the deity just descends in Swamiji's body physically and manifests physically. How many of you will witness like this? Because today, the Bhava Samadhi Darshan we are going to be having, it's a very unique one. You're going to have 10 different Bhava Samadhi Darshans. Dasa the forms of Bhagavan Dakshinamurthy we are going to witness.
The 10 different manifestations of Bhagavan Dakshinamurthy, whether it is Yoga Dakshinamurthy, Veena Dakshinamurthy, Vyakyana Dakshinamurthy, and Anushtana Dakshinamurthy, Shakti Dakshinamurthy, Samba Dakshinamurthy, Jnana Dakshinamurthy, all of these different forms of Dakshinamurthy, the embodiment of the ultimate Dakshinamurthy, we are going to be having the Darshan Paramashiva's form, which walked the planet Earth to liberate the Sanakadi Rishis from all the ego that they were stuck with. And that is a darshan that we're all going to be having.
So now when this darshan is happening, I request every one of you to just spend like take few moments and also observe how in every single manifestation, literally, physically, you see Swamiji's physical body will just be completely transforming. Like you can actually see a clear difference between every single form. It's not just that agamic dress that Swamiji wears or the jewels exactly as per the deities to give us these darshans. Swamiji has done intensive research into the ancient scriptures, the Vedagamic scriptures, and Swamiji has studied, researched on how every single deity manifests, what kind of jewels they wear, and how they manifest, the chantings that will awaken their energy. Swamiji has done intensive research on all of these and is gifting us these darshanas. So we are extremely blessed to be a part of this. I really request all of you that are tuned in even with us right now to please post here on the YouTube chat section how you feel to be a part of today's darshan. Just take a moment now and post, and also please share this link with your friends and family. Just tell them to come and spend half an hour, not more than half an hour, just half an hour. Come and sit here and just witness the darshan. They will see what transformation starts happening in them. Please take a few minutes and share this with your family and friends and invite them.
I request every one of you to also share, because when you share with others and the impact that will have in your inner space itself for you to receive darshan will be a lot more. Understand, when you enjoy, when you are sitting with Bhava Samadhi darshan, especially if you're sitting here in the video conferencing, you're sitting here and having a Naina Diksha, receiving the darshan from Swamiji, understand it will have a very, very powerful impact on you, because not just you are seeing Swamiji, Swamiji is also seeing you. And every one of you that want to receive his darshan, do not miss, join, sign up for Paramashivam and join so that you can receive these beautiful darshans through the Nayana Diksha as well, through the video conferencing as well. So now let us all enter into the darshan preparation. I request every one of you to get ready. We'll all be chanting the Dhyana Shloka of different forms of the Dakshinamoorthy, the 10 manifestations of Dakshinamoorthy.
During the time we're chanting, we're actually going to be projecting a slide deck for you. So you can also follow along with us. The slides are projected for you. You can also follow along with us and see if you're able to even chant or just listen, but enter into a deep meditative space. Now we are going to be chanting the Dhyana Shloka of Bhagavan Yoga Dakshinamurti. Kailasadri Samapanchashashankadavala Prabham Spurjarchatamantitam cha Nasalokana Tatpradam Virasane Sthitam Chaiva Trinetram Chaikavakrakam Janu cha vilasatpanim prasannavadananvitam Katyam bhujangabhaddham cha munibhishcha samavritam Yoga Guru Swarupam cha bhavahe cha visheshataha.
This is the Dhyana Shloka of Yoga Dakshinamurti. We will now be chanting the Dhyana Shloka of Veena Dakshinamurti. Tava labham cha ruchiram sarpa yajñopavaitinam analam sakshamalan cha spurat kanakavinakam halanetram Dakshinamurti Nide.
Now we are going to chant the Dhyana Shloka of Bhagavan Shakti Dakshinamurti. Sphatikam rajatavarnam mautikairvakshamadikam Amrita kalasapurnam jnanamudrankaragraihi Sarpahastam chandrachudam yajnasutra virajitam Shaktibhir Dakshinamurte Dhyaye Deva Visheshataha.
The next is the Dhyana Shloka of Vyakhyana Dakshinamurti. Dakshine mudram pratipadayantam sitaksha-sutram chalathurvabhage vame cha punsantam-akilagamadhyam vidhanamudhena sudhadaram cha. सीताम्बुजस्तं सीतवर्णमीशं सीताम्बरालेपनम् इन्दुमौलिं ज्ञानमुनिभ्यः प्रतिपादयन्तं तं दक्षिणामूर्तिमुदाख्यति.
Now we are chanting the Dhyana Shloka of Bhagavan Vyakhyana Dakshinamurti. Raksham Chaturbhujam Shantamarjavamardhavanvitam Anyonyangitalौ Dauja Spikpi Pandada Prakalpaye Hridaye Jnanamudram Tu Yabhyantaramukham Karam.
The next is the Dhyana Shloka of Jnana Dakshinamurti. Jnanamudram hridhi sthane Svabhyantaramukham karam Varadam vamahastam tu Medapithoparinyase Apare dakshine chaksha Malam javamahastake.
The next is the Dhyana Shloka of Bhagavan Anushtana Dakshinamurti. Shuklavarnam Trinetram cha Tankam Bhaname Vame Krishna Mrigam Chaiva Danahi Chalasatkarai.
The next is a Dhyana Shloka of Anushtana Dakshinamurti. The next is a Dhyana Shloka of Vidya Dakshinamurti. Shuklavarnam Trinetram cha Tankam Yanam cha Dakshine Vame Krishnam Mrigam Chaiva Danahim Chalasatkaraihi. Hutavah Phanikosham Jnanamudram Karagraihi Dharatamajinam Chelam Lambitam Savyapadam Shaitamaparāpadam Bhutasamstam Trinetram Girivarashikhastam Dakshinamurti Meedhe.
The next is the Dhyana Shloka of Bhagavan Vatamula Dakshinamurti. Medhaspatikavarnabham mudra pustakavahnikam Nagaischa vilasatpanim prasannavadananvitam Muktahara samayuktam kirita mukutanvitam Ajnanamochanatham cha vyagamartham prakashakam Vatamule samasinam Dhyayet medhasvarupakam.
The next is a Dhyana Shloka of Adi Guru Dakshinamurti. Maunam Vyakhya Prakatita Parabrahmatvam Yuvanam Varshishthantaivasadrishiganairavritam Brahmanishthaihi Achandram Karakaisatmudramanandamurtim Swatmaramam Muditavadanam Dakshinamurti Meedhe. In the same space. Let us all get ready to receive the Darshan. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Connecting with the divine with your eyes closed is meditation. Connecting with the divine with your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes. Vasudevasudam Devam Kamsachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Nityam Vande Jagadgurum Nityam Vande Jagadgurum Nityam Vande Jagadgurum Guru Shri Nithyananda Jagadavidata Guru Shri Nithyananda Jagadavidata Guru Shri Nithyananda Jagadavidata Guru Shri Nithyananda Jagadavidata Bidudi Nivasa Nitya Deva Daya Karo Gurudeva He Bidudi Nivasa Nitya Deva Daya Karo Gurudeva He Bidudi Nivasa Nitya Deva Daya Karo Gurudeva He Bidudi Nivasa Nitya Deva Daya Karo Gurudeva Guru Shri Nithyananda Jagadavidata Guru Shri Nithyananda Jagadavidata Bidudi Nivasa Nitya Deva Daya Karo Gurudeva He Bidudi Nivasa Nitya Deva Daya Karo Gurudeva Kamalanayana He Hridaya Vihari Kamalanayana He Hridaya Vihari Anandadayaka He Giridari Anandadayaka He Giridari Kamalanayana He Hridaya Vihari
கைலை இறையென உரைபவன் அருணையில் குருவென மலர்ந்தது புகழ் பாடி அருள் பெறவே திருப்பதம் தனில் அடியவர் சாற்றி மகிழ்வுறும் பாமாலை நித்யானந்த குரு நித்யானந்த குரு நித்யானந்த சத்குருவே நித்யானந்த குரு நித்யானந்த குரு நித்யானந்த சத்குருவே. அகமே நிறைந்த எம் அண்ணாமலை வேந்தனே, ஜெகம் போற்றும் எம் ஆனந்த நித்யனே, சாற்றும் இப்பாமாலை ஏற்றமை காப்பாயே. நித்யானந்த குரு நித்யானந்த குரு நித்யானந்த சத்குருவே. நித்யானந்த குரு நித்யானந்த குரு நித்யானந்த சத்குருவே. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சலம் தந்த வரமே அகத்தினில் அமர்ந்தே அருள் தரும் நித்யானந்தா. குருவாய் மலர்ந்திங்கு உணர்வாய் கலந்தெமக்குயர்வாழ் வழித்திடும் நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. புவி மேல் பிறந்தது எதனால் என்பதும் அறியா பதர்யாம் நித்யானந்தா. துதிப்பாடிடும் வரம் அளித்தே குறைதனை களைந்தாய் கணம் தனில் நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அலை பாய்ந்திடும் மனம் நிலையாய் அமர்த்திடுவாய் என பணிந்தோம் நித்யானந்தா. மனம் தாண்டிய மலை மகனே புயலென புகுந்தாய் மனந்தனில் நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. இக வாழ்வே பெரும் பிணிதானென உணர்ந்தே உனை அடைந்தோம் நித்யானந்தா. ஜெகமாயையில் இருந்தமை மீட்டே தடுத்தாட்கொண்டிடுவாய் நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அகங்காரம் அதன் விளைவாய் யுகங்களாய் பிறந்தே தவித்தோம் நித்யானந்தா. நிலையானது ஆன்மாவென உணர்ந்துந்தன் பதம் சரண் புகுந்தோம் நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. எதிராய் புரிந்திந்த புவி மேல் நீதம் வந்த அகந்தையில் உழன்றோம் நித்யானந்தா. கதிராய் நிலைதனை எரித்தே வழி தரும் ஒளியாய் மலர்ந்த எம் நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. நித்யானந்த குரு நித்யானந்த குரு நித்யானந்த சத்குருவே. நித்யானந்த குரு நித்யானந்த குரு நித்யானந்த சத்குருவே. பிடிவாதம் எனும் சிறையில் பிடிப்பட்டே பிணி அடைந்தோம் நித்யானந்தா. இறை வடிவாய் பிறந்தங்கள் பிணி போக்கிட பெரும் மருந்தாய் மலர்ந்த எம் நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. காற்றினிலே பெரும் கோட்டைகள் கட்டியம் காலங்கள் கரைந்தது நித்யானந்தா. தேற்றியம் வாழ்வினை மாற்றிடும் கூற்றினை காட்டினையே குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. நாவினில் தோன்றிடும் பாவினில் ஆழ்ந்த பொருள் என நின்றிடும் நித்யானந்தா. நான் மறை மூன்று தமிழ் தனை காத்திடும் ஞான முதல்வனே நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. கூவிடும் கூக்குரல் கேட்ட அம்மாத்திரம் ஓடி வந்தாண்டிடும் நித்யானந்தா. மேவிடும் தீமைகள் யாவையும் தாங்கிய சூலத்தில் நீக்கிடும் நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. என்னிடும் தூரத்தில் இல்லை என்றென்ன என் எண்ணத்திலே நின்ற நித்யானந்தா. எண்ணத்தில் நின்று எம் எண்ணில்லா எண்ணங்கள் மாய்த்தமை காத்த எம் நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. மனமும் பல ஆயிரம் கேள்விகள் தாங்கிய தவித்தது நித்யானந்தா. கேள்விகள் யாவும் அம்மாத்திரமே உந்தன் மௌனம் துடைத்தது நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. வருந்தும் அடியவரை உயர்நிலை கேட்டிட உனையன்றி எவரில்லை நித்யானந்தா. அறிந்தும் தன் பதமலர் சரணமடைந்தோம் கருணை பொழிந்திடு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அரவம் அடக்கிய தேரையாய் மனமதில் சிக்கிய தவித்தோம் நித்யானந்தா. துயத்துடைத்தேயமக்குயர் நிலை காட்டிய உன்னத குருவே நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. ஆணவத்தால் இங்கு அறிவை இழந்தயம் வாழ்வொரு வாழ்வோ நித்யானந்தா. ஆனந்த வாழ்வினை அருளிட அருணையில் அவதரித்தனையோ நித்யானந்தா. அருணால நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அகத்தினை மூடிய பனியாய் எண்ணத்தில் உறைந்து கிடந்தோம் நித்யானந்தா. ஜகத்தினிலே பனி அகற்றிடும் ஞாயிறாய் ஒளிர்ந்தமை மீட்டாய் நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அரவம் மிரட்டிடும் கருடனென பெரும் அச்சத்தில் அலைந்தோம் நித்யானந்தா. பயிர்களை காத்திடும் மேகமாய் வந்து எம் பயந்தனை நீக்கிடு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா. அருணாச்சல நித்ய ಅರುಣಾಚಲ ನಿತ್ಯ ಅರುಣಾಚಲ ಗುರು ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಅರುಣಾಚಲ ನಿತ್ಯ ಅರುಣಾಚಲ ನಿತ್ಯ அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா மானுடமாய் வந்து மாயையினால் பெரும் வீழ்வு நிலைத்தது நித்யானந்தா வேதியனாய் மனம் ஆழ்ந்து உணர்ந்திட தியானத்தை தந்த என் நித்யானந்தா வேற்றுமையின்றி வேண்டிடும் யாவர்க்கும் ஞானத்தை காட்டிடும் நித்யானந்தா தேற்றிட வாழ்வினில் காற்றனவே புகுந்தாண்டிடும் மையனே நித்யானந்தா அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல நித்ய அருணாச்சல குரு நித்யானந்தா உறவென பற்றிடும் உள்ளங்கள் யாவைக்கும்
நித்யானந்தமீஸ்வரம் சரணம் நித்யானந்த குருதேவ் சரணம் ஸ்மரணம் நித்யானந்த குருதேவ் ஸ்மரணம் சரணம் நித்யானந்த குருதேவ் சரணம் साधनं सर्वभूत सर्ग कर्म सूत्र बंध कारणं ज्ञान कर्म पाप पुण्य तारतम्य साधनं बुद्धिवास साक्षी रूप सर्व कर्म भासनं तं नमामि देव देव नित्यानन्दमीश्वरं बुद्धिवास साक्षी रूप सर्व कर्म भासनं तं नमामि देव देव नित्यानन्दमीश्वरं तं नमामि देव देव नित्यानन्दमीश्वरं शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव शरणं स्मरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव स्मरणं शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव शरणं स्मरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव स्मरणं शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव शरणं सर्वजीव पापनाश कारणं भवेश्वरं स्वीकृतं जगर्भवासदेह पाशमीदृशं सर्वजीव पापनाश कारणं भवेश्वरं स्वीकृतं जगर्भवासदेह पाशमीदृशं स्थापितं स्वलीलया च येन दिव्यजीवनं स्थापितं स्वलीलया च येन दिव्यजीवनं तं नमामि देव देव नित्यानन्दमीश्वरं तं नमामि देव देव नित्यानन्दमीश्वरं शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव शरणं स्मरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव स्मरणं शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव शरणं तुल्यलोष्टकाञ्चनं च हेयनेयधीगतं स्त्रीषु नित्यमातृरूपशक्तिभावभावुकं तुल्यलोष्टकाञ्चनं च हेयनेयधीगतं स्त्रीषु नित्यमातृरूपशक्तिभावभावुकं ज्ञानभक्तिभुक्तिं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव स्मरणम् शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव शरणम् चारुदर्शकालिकासु गीतचारुगायकं कीर्तनेषु मत्तवच्च नित्यभावविह्वलम् चारुदर्शकालिकासु गीतचारुगायकं कीर्तनेषु मत्तवच्च नित्यभावविह्वलम् सूपदेशदायकं हि शोकतापवारकं तं नमामि देवदेव नित्यानन्दमीश्वरम् सूपदेशदायकं हि शोकतापवारकं तं नमामि देवदेव नित्यानन्दमीश्वरम् शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव शरणम् स्मरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव स्मरणम् शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव शरणम् स्मरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव स्मरणम् शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव शरणम् पादपद्मतत्त्वबोध शान्ति सौख्यदायकं सक्तचित्तभक्तसून नित्यवित्तवर्धनं पादपद्मतत्त्वबोध शान्ति सौख्यदायकं सक्तचित्तभक्तसून नित्यवित्तवर्धनं दम्भिदर्पधारणं तु निर्भयं जगद्गुरुं दम्भिदर्पधारणं तु निर्भयं जगद्गुरुं तं नमामि देवदेव नित्यानन्दमीश्वरं तं नमामि देवदेव नित्यानन्दमीश्वरम् शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव शरणम् स्मरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव स्मरणम् शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव शरणम् स्मरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव स्मरणम् शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव शरणम् पञ्चवर्षबालभावयुक्तहंसरूपिणं सर्वलोकरञ्जनं भवाब्धिसङ्गभञ्जनं पञ्चवर्षबालभावयुक्तहंसरूपिणं सर्वलोकरञ्जनं भवाब्धिसङ्गभञ्जनं शान्तिसौख्यसद्मजीवजन्मभीतिनाशनं तं नमामि देवदेव नित्यानन्दमीश्वरं शान्तिसौख्यसद्मजीवजन्मभीतिनाशनं तं नमामि देवदेव नित्यानन्दमीश्वरम् शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव शरणम् स्मरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव स्मरणम् शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव शरणम् स्मरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव स्मरणम् शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव शरणम् धर्महानहारकं स्वधर्मकर्मवारकं लोकधर्मचारणं च सर्वधर्मकोविदं धर्महानहारकं स्वधर्मकर्मवारकं लोकधर्मचारणं च सर्वधर्मकोविदं त्यागिगोहि सेव्य नित्यपावनाङ्घ्रिपङ्कजं त्यागिगोहि सेव्य नित्यपावनाङ्घ्रिपङ्कजं तं नमामि देवदेव नित्यानन्दमीश्वरं तं नमामि देवदेव नित्यानन्दमीश्वरम् शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव शरणम् स्मरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव स्मरणम् शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव शरणम् स्मरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव स्मरणम् शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव शरणम् स्तोत्रशून्यसोमकं सदेशभावव्यञ्जकं नित्यपाठकस्य वै विपत्तिपुञ्जनाशकं स्तोत्रशून्यसोमकं सदेशभावव्यञ्जकं नित्यपाठकस्य वै विपत्तिपुञ्जनाशकं स्यात् कदापि जापयागयोगभोगसौलभं तु नित्यानन्द रागभक्तिभावनं स्यात् कदापि जापयागयोगभोगसौलभं स्मरणं शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव स्मरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव स्मरणं शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव स्मरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव स्मरणं शरणं नित्यानन्द गुरुदेव शरणम्
That was an extremely sweet, beautiful darshan.
Having had the darshan of all the 10 forms of Dakshinamurti, it was such a blissful experience. We request all the participants that witnessed this powerful darshan to share with us and let us know how each of you enjoyed this Bhava Samadhi Darshan.
How was it when you witnessed each form of Bhagavan Dakshinamurti? And how many of you were able to notice how physically also you're able to see a big difference? You know, the experience is it is just too sweet, too delicious, and extremely powerful. The space that each one of us are experiencing now is a space of Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Bhagavan Dakshinamurti is an embodiment of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and that is what we all are experiencing now.
And now, in this same space, we request every one of you that are watching us, if you want to enjoy this darshans live and if you want to experience these darshans live, get ready and do not forget to sign up to us, because on in the program during the MPSM you're going to be having the live darshans via the two-way video conferencing. So any one of you who want to enjoy these darshans, having the darshans live and receiving them via two-way video conferencing, do not miss, sign up for Paramashivam starting on February 9th, which is just around the corner, and you all can join us in during the Paramashivam program to receive the live darshans. And also on the 5th of February, marking the auspicious occasion of Thaipusam, we are going to be having the grand celebration of Shanmukha Subramanya Bhava Samadhi. So, miss, please join us there. And thank you all for joining. Stay tuned, and we'll be back with you all